Oh yeah, I forgot to mention in the video that I also want to hear from Miss Wilcox. Now that's Alexander Bradley's baby mother. They did play some tape, of him talking to his baby mother and about the case. So I definitely want to hear from her after Alexander Bradley. So I don't know if she's going to be, if I was a defense, I would want her to come in because I want to talk to her as well and to see how much more she knows, So I forgot to mention that in the video that I want to hear from Wilcox, Miss Wilcox. That's Alexander Bradley's baby mother. So hopefully we hear from her as well, but we'll see. All right, I just want to add that occasionally I might do these videos in the beginning just in case if I missed anything, because I've always, it's a lot going on, and it's just a lot to talk about, but these daily videos will keep coming. So all right, just wanted to say that. All right, guys, welcome back to another video. Now in this video, I want to talk about Aaron Hernandez double murder trial. It wrapped up for today, and well, today, the prosecution finished up with their questioning on Alexander Bradley, and at some point, Jose Baez started the cross-examination, and that's where it ended today. So tomorrow is going to pick up with more cross-examination with Jose Baez, with Alexander Bradley on the stand. So I have a question. Now that most of you got a chance to watch Alexander Bradley for 2 days now, what do you think? How do you think Alexander Bradley is holding up as a witness? Do you think he's a credible witness and a good witness for the prosecution? And also, how do you think, I know some of you maybe, actually no, by the time I put this video up, you guys have probably watched it, but with Jose Baez cross-examining Alexander Bradley, how do you think Alexander Bradley is holding up with Jose Baez? And also, do you think Jose Baez is doing a good job with the cross-examination? Before I really make a determination on that, I'm going to watch the rest of the cross-examination tomorrow. I don't know if Jose Baez is going to use the entire day tomorrow for cross-examination. I mean, it could very well, he could use the whole day tomorrow, but he used a lot of time today. Well, he was just pretty much, actually Jose Baez started out, that was interesting how he started the cross-examination. He kind of leaned on the table and said that, so your name is, he was referencing his name, and Alexander Bradley, like, no, he said, so you're known as Rock or something like that? He was like, no. He said his family call him Rocky. And he said, you known as Sherrod on the street? He said, my name is Alexander Sherrod Bradley. So it kind of started off, it kind of set the tone a little bit. Alexander Bradley, you can tell that somebody pointed this out, that he has a great understanding of the system. And he's been in court before, so he knows how it works. But at times you could see where, it was kind of getting testy a little bit. I think the one video I watched, it was titled that it was a heated exchange, a little bit. And then at one point, Alexander Bradley was smiling, and Jose Baez said, what are you smiling at? You think something's funny? Do you realize that 2 people are dead here?
Sir, you testified in a grand jury?
Correct.
I noticed you're smiling. You find anything funny here?
Objection. Sustained. Put a question.
You realize 2 men lost their lives?
Objection. Strike. Put a question, please.
Sir, do you recall testifying before a grand jury?
Yes.
Okay, and when you testified before a grand jury, there's no defense lawyer present?
I believe there was a lawyer present.
And so I guess they saying that was the heated exchange, but There's some, I was reading some of the comments. I would say you got some people that think Jose Baez is doing a good job. Some people think that Jose Baez is not doing a good job. Some people think Alexander Bradley is a good witness for the prosecution. So there's a lot of opinions out there. Just to give, like I said, I want to watch the rest of it tomorrow before I say how Alexander Bradley did. I know I touched on it yesterday saying that he did pretty well. I thought he still did pretty well today. Could he have been better? Yes, at recalling some things, because you can tell Baez, he's doing his job. He's trying to trip this kid up. And it seemed like this kid has been around the corner a few times. He's actually been in court, so he knows exactly what's going on. But I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to go more into it. They kind of got more back into the text messages. Jose Baez is painting a picture that, Alexander Bradley, was trying to in some way extort Aaron Hernandez, who's trying to get money out of him. He said, hey, this guy is trying to get money out of my client. This is what he was alluding to the fact. And some of the text messages, he did say that he wanted some kind of compensation, for the shooting. But you guys correct me if I'm wrong. In the text messages, Aaron Hernandez didn't really admit to shooting Alexander Bradley. Maybe that was smart on his part. Aaron is not a dumb guy. I know people think this guy is some kind of dumb jock. If you actually research him, he was a good student in high school. He graduated early. He graduated high school early, and he was also a good student at Florida. So he's a pretty bright guy. I know he's put himself in position where he made some bad choices and friends he hung out with. Typically, with younger people, that is sometimes the case. I remember when I was younger, I may have hung out with some people that I shouldn't have hung out with. But as you get older, you know that you can't really do that. But that still doesn't mean that he killed anybody. And I know some people are saying that Aaron Hernandez is guilty. But, I still, this is my position. I mean, to be fair, we're still waiting for, Alexander Bradley still have more testimony to go, and it's going to be redirects and maybe redirect. So he's not finished yet. But, a friend I was having a conversation with a friend today, and we were talking about, this is the point that came up. A person might be guilty of a crime, but that don't mean they should be found guilty. Again, the state has the burden of proof, So you might find, you're like, oh, this guy did it for sure. He did it. But is the evidence stating that fact? You see what I mean? Is the evidence, do the prosecution, are they putting together enough evidence for the jury to say, oh yeah, Aaron did it. I'm putting the dots together here according to the evidence. Aaron pulled the trigger that night. This is a unique case because let's say if they can't even prove that Alexander Bradley pulled the trigger, they can't convict here. And there was a lot of Casey Anthony references coming up today, I noticed. Even when I was watching the trial live, through the live feed, a lot of people were bringing up Casey Anthony. Like, some people don't like Jose Baez, and it's not a matter of if you like Jose Baez or not. We're looking at the evidence solely on what the state is providing. That's all we're doing. And that's all the jury, that's the only thing that the jury has to do during the deliberation. Look at the evidence, right? This is what the state has given us. Never mind the external sources, like myself or anybody in the media. Never mind us. Let's look at the evidence here and then make a determination of guilt or innocence. Or they could be hung on it. So that's the position I'm going to keep, man. A lot of people are bringing up the fact that, he was convicted in a prior case But does that mean that he's guilty in this case? He's a lot of people, if you use your common sense, you're like, okay, these cases are kind of related in a way. I agree they could be a related in a way, but my point I'm trying to make is I'm just solely, and I'm guilty of it sometimes too, even in these videos, and I have to be careful with that, because my stance really is evidence that the state is providing. The state always had the burden of proof, and it's up to the state to bring forth that evidence to say, hey, this supports why we think this guy is guilty. Or the defense could put together a case to sway it a little bit, like, look, this guy is not guilty, so that's what it is. So there's a couple of the video that I want to rewatch, so I'm gonna do that. Tomorrow I actually gotta get out of here. Well, actually, I'm not gonna be watching the trial live tomorrow. I'm gonna be watching what's on YouTube, and the people on YouTube do a very good job in uploading the videos in its entirety. They do a very good job, and that's one thing about YouTube that I love, that you can always go back and watch the first trial. You can go back and watch these videos. I mean, they do a really good job in providing us this information so we can watch it. And for people that enjoy these kind of trials, and it's cool to interact with people, to hear their perspectives. And I take everybody comments into consideration, because I don't know, I wasn't there that night. I'm only going off of my opinion based off what I'm seeing on the video. And yesterday there's a lot of holes there. I think maybe Baez might spend half of the day tomorrow picking at Alexander Bradley's testimony. There's a lot of holes there, because I said yesterday I'm a little bit I have issues with the dumping of the gun. So you're saying that Aaron Hernandez dumped the gun, and then there was also a situation today with Baez and Bradley, because he's saying that Hernandez retrieved the gun from the car block, popped the hood or whatever. So there was some back and forth there. But getting back to the dumping of the gun, somehow they're trying to say that the murder weapon was retrieved, but there was no DNA evidence on it. There was no fingerprints. How can you, I don't know how you can say. I know they did ballistic tests, and I don't know. It's just that wouldn't be enough for me if I was the jury. That wouldn't be enough for me. I would take issue to it. Okay, so you said that he dumped the gun. I received a comment yesterday. It was a really good comment, that this person believes that that's a lie. They believe that Bradley had possession of the weapon and somehow gave it to someone else, because he's associated with this guy named John Alcorn. So that was a very good comment yesterday, and I thought about that. I love oh my God, it said keep left, and I'm in the wrong lane. Okay, this is gonna be bad. It's to school. Okay, I'm gonna get over. Yeah, I can't even get over. Wow. But yeah, so there's a lot going on with this case. There was another issue. Let's get to I'm going back and forth here, but the text messages. I know every individual is different. Every individual is different, but if someone shot me in the head, I'm not saying I love this guy on text message. I'm not saying that. And I know what you guys are going to say. These guys are not rational. They're not rational individuals. I get that. they're not rational individuals. I should have got over earlier. Let's see if this person let me over. People out here tend to be, it just depends. They tend to be unforgiving when you, yeah, he's being unforgiving here. See? If someone shot me in the head, I'm not gonna be texting them saying, you know, I got love for you and stuff like that. I'm going to be, yeah, I'll get a lawyer, but I will actually, when I'm in the hospital, when they're asking me information, I'm giving up that information. I want to stress this again. That is not snitching. And I want to keep saying, here's the definition of snitching. If I go out, me and a partner, and we rob a bank, right? I get caught and my partner gets away and I start giving up information on my partner, that's snitching. Because I knew what I was getting myself into before I went out and tried to perform this crime. So I knew the consequences that one of us could get caught. So I don't want to jeopardize his life just because I was stupid enough to get caught. And now I'm going to give up my information saying that he was the ringleader. That's snitching. But if someone shoots me for no apparent reason, like he's stating, he's alleging that, well, he's saying, well, Aaron settled out, but I'm just saying that I get shot. I'm not going to try to have any contact. Only contact I want is with investigators to try to, only person that I want to talk to is investigators to try to get this resolved. And then I'll sue him. Once he go to jail and get convicted, I'm suing him in the civil trial. That's where I'll start suing. I'm not going to try to ask for money. I want this guy put away. He shot me for no reason. I want him in jail. But I do understand that maybe Bradley is not a rational person, not a normal person that would think like that. He's trying to what we call cash out. He's trying to cash out. That doesn't look good for his credibility if I'm a juror. I'm like, okay, this guy's trying to cash out. I knew what was going on. Despite getting shot, he still wanted to hang around. He still wanted to hang around. I'm gonna take all of that in consideration, you know. I keep in the back of my mind, maybe he's just not a normal individual. I don't know. So that's all I have, man. I'm gonna watch some more of it tomorrow. I'm gonna watch some more tonight. I'm into this trial, and I still have to. Yeah, I'm into it. So right now, I'm gonna get something to eat. I was watching this all day. I didn't even get a chance to eat anything really, you know. So I ain't want to miss anything. But now I find myself have to go back and look at it again, because there was a part where Baez was explaining to him his plea agreement. He said, you know, you could still get convicted if we find that you weren't being truthful. So, you know, that was interesting. So then you got to take into account here, this guy tried to sue Hernandez. Well, he did. He cut a deal. So it's just basically going to be down to if the jurors find Bradley credible or not. I don't know what other witnesses they have. That's still to be, determined. So we'll see. But that's all I have, man. I'm still watching it just like everybody else, and I'm, look forward to you guys' comments. You guys have some great comments, and there's a lot of perspectives out there, man. I just kind of think about it all. But at the end of the day, man, it's the moral of the story is you really have to watch who you hang around. Everything, even if you don't have a $40 million contract, even just regular people. So I don't know. It's just I just also feel like there's something I'm missing here. It really is. Or is this guy really a cold-blooded killer or whatever? I don't know. But like I said, something is missing here, man, from this story. And I'm still, thinking about how this gun was dumped. Someone made a comment. I read a comment where they said, well, maybe when he dumped the gun, he GPS'd it and marked it so that the person will know the exact coordinates to come back to pick up the murder weapon. Man, oh man, I don't think after you kill somebody, you're gonna be like, oh, let me GPS the drop-off location so they'll come back. I don't think so. Nothing is impossible, but I don't think that's the case. I really don't. But I'm curious to know how you guys think that bias did today. From the comments I was reading, it was kind of half and half. And how do you think Bradley held up with bias for the first day? I'm sure they're going to go at it again tomorrow for a great portion of tomorrow, I'm assuming. So we'll see, because there's a lot for bias to go over. So we'll see. All right, guys, if you like my content, please share with your family and friends. And also don't forget to hit the subscription button. And also don't forget to hit the bell next to it so you can get updated on my content when it comes out. All right, guys, until next time, take care.